Good after morning. Everything should be fine. Everything looks okay. So you should hopefully be able to hear Bibby. Bibby, say words.
Hello, good morning.
Good after morning. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. Okay, the microphone issues may have stopped, or at least the outfit for today. That's all we need to know. Anyway, welcome into twitch.tv/Ice Cream Rumples. My name is Green Day, and I'm joined by Bibby. I'll read Bib.
Hello, how's it going? I realised that I should have changed my t-shirt because I told you before we went live that I have some baby sick on it.
Well, it's all right because you're only in the little screen. It's not like I've just pressed the big Bibby logo. Yeah, look at that. It's full on Undertaker.
No, I'd sing whatever the American national anthem is.
Spike says, Babby, that Batman logo in bling.
I know, it's good that, innit? It's good that. My mum and my nan bought me that for Christmas.
What, your mum, your nan, your dad and your gran?
Went over to Vindaloo.
Or off to Waterloo. Me, my nan, my dad and my gran and a bucket of Vindaloo. A bucket of... Okay, that's enough of that. Good morning,
Spike, by the way.
everyone. Welcome into the stream. Let me just roll back through and see who's here. Tate's Bad in nice and early, like he always is. I said nice and early. It is for us. It's obviously super late for you, which is why we appreciate you dropping in, dude. How are we doing? Lake, sup? I'll read Lake. Spike with some resident sleepers. Is that because you're tired of this shit? You're tired just generally? What is it? Give me the details. Also, Nietzsche dropping in with let me do one of these, by the way. Exclamation mark Nietzsche.
Nietzsche is a bike seat sniffer.
Nietzsche is a bike seat sniffer. You've heard it from Bateson himself. So, I mean, if Bateson says it, then there we go. So Bateson has confirmed that Nietzsche is, in fact, a bike seat sniffer. There we go. That's confirmed. There's not really much more we can say to that. Good morning, Nietzsche. Alrit. Then we got Spike. Full-on cat jamming his way. Let's go. By the way, you are Babby. Now you have a baby. Yeah, not baby, Babby. Wee baby, baby, Babby. Sheep Fragger says, I'm always early. That's what she said. That's what well, premature. You've said it yourself. Boo. Now then, Frag, how we doing, dude? Can't wait for this World Cup song to be about sausage rolls.
I've actually got some Greg frozen sausage rolls in the freezer. That is what I'm having for dinner today. Confirmed.
Are they vegan or... Because usually you get...
Both.
Okay, nice.
I've got both. I might have one of each, do you know what I mean? Just to take the edge off a little bit, so I'm not going... No, I'm not leaning to one side too heavy, but yeah, I mean... Have you had a vegan one yet? I know this is well off topic. I am not a vegan, by the way.
I haven't.
I love vegan stuff.
Not that I'm against having vegan foods. Some I like Beyond Burgers and things like that. It's just I don't even remember the last time I had a sausage roll from Greg's. If I go to Greg's, I might just get a steak bake, and then that's it. That's my decision made. To
be fair, the best things from Greg's are the Mexicana baguettes that have like all the spicy cheese and the spicy salsa and stuff like that. If you've not had one of them, you are missing out big time.
Yeah, see, I'm not a fan of Greg's baguettes because that's just like, it's like you 50% amazing flavour, 50% your gums are bleeding. It's just like...
they are well hard, aren't they?
Yeah, soft bread for me, soft breads. Any bread that like, if you hold it out and it holds its own shape and doesn't flop, your bread needs to droop for it to be good. I mean, Subway holds its own because it's harder on the outside, but it's softer on the inside kind of thing. So that's okay, but most yeah. Anyway, that's enough of that. That's a different conversation entirely. Let's rate your breads on live, twitch.tv/. Anyway, Timeless, good after morning. It do be facts. I sniffed the seed and I liked it. Morning, Viv. I'll read Anarchy Max. Hey, good morning. What time is it for you, Max? Are you like mega early? Are you an early starter or what? What we saying? That's how addictions start. Yes, they are nice. What? Seats? Bike seats, Timeless? Or are we talking about the vegan sausage rolls? Okay, I like the sausage and bacon baguette with extra bacon. I mean, that sounds good. That sounds good. I would just prefer it in a balm. Give me a balm, a tea cake, a bread roll, a cob, whatever you want to call them. Yes, 6:15. That's not too bad. I mean, I'm not awake enough to be watching Twitch at 6:15, so I appreciate you being awake enough to drop in the view. Thank you very much, dude. The shop I work in does all the pastries fresh. Eat morning, and we do a steak and cheese bar. a steak. So when you say steak and cheese bar, what is this? That are we talking like? Is that like a breakfast bar, like a serving bar, or is it like a cereal bar? Because that's my kind of cereal bar. Give me a steak and cheese bar, please. Just a lump of steak wrapped in cheese. Woohoo! Man's out here talking about the droop. It's Valentine's Day, damn it! Yeah. How's everyone's Valentine's Day, Stead? Are you all good? Are you already in the bow sort of mindset? Is that coming later on, or are you just chilling out and thinking, do you know what? Fuck Valentine's Day. I love my better half every other day. I don't need to celebrate it today because some people do, some people don't. Whatever. We use it as an excuse to just throw down a little bit. Not that we need to, but we do anyway. So we've already had Love Heart Crumpets this morning. We've got steak, prawn thermidor with dauphinoise potatoes for later on. Let's go. And some profiterole rolls to follow. So yeah.
Great style.
Nice. What are we all doing today? You all getting spicy? All sexy and lovage? Think of a babe. Think a baby of a sausage roll and bake it. It's 50-50. Oh, so okay. So like a sausage roll then, but steak and cheese. Okay, that sounds good.
I'm in. Yeah. I'm in.
Pick Spike. If you are in the vicinity of a roll anytime soon, your steak and cheese bar, then do feel free to take pics and drop it into the Discord because I need to see this. Thank you very much.
Is it a Go Local that you work in, Spike? Because I'm fairly certain we had this kind of conversation before about the place that you work.
It's
because we've got a Go Local near us.
Okay, that's enough of that. Let's go. I love her every day, and I'm vocally meh to it, but she likes it, so I'm required by marital law to pander to it. Touche. I mean, we don't really like Valentine's Day as such. So the rules are you go out and you buy like a teddy and chocolates and shit like that, and you go out for a meal and stuff. I don't think we've ever gone out for a meal. We might have done once 10 years or so ago, but we go out for meals all the time anyway. So we don't necessarily need to go out to prove to other people that we actually love each other. So we just go, okay, we'll just buy a couple of steaks and chill out at home. And that's kind of what we do for Valentine's Day. But it's still an excuse for us to do something. So the Stream Deck pedal that I have under my desk, that was my Valentine's Day present 2 weeks ago. So it was romantic enough to, I'll get you something for Valentine's Day that's not cheap shit chocolate stuff that costs over an arm and a leg over the going rates that you would get any other day of the week. But yeah, there you go. Nice. You can have it a bit early as well to make sure it works. So yeah. And this T-shirt. I got this T-shirt as well because I'd already had my present 2 weeks ago. Daniel was like, well, you've got it out on the day now, so I'll get you a T-shirt as well. So I've got a Star Wars T-shirt. Nice. I'm going to Graham's house for dinner tonight. It's all right. Lotus is already on the way. St. Valentine was eventually beheaded on the basis that I object to Valentine's Day. That, and I'm single, but mostly in objection. Good after morning, Ted Nort. Hey, one of the worst moments of my life was when I was younger. You know, the week after Valentine's Day, steak and beach. It's a month actually. It's 14th of March. Not that I know.
But he's got that. I know he's got that on his calendar with a big circle, or a big red circle around it.
But the rest of the comment though is fucking amazing. Do you know the week after Valentine's Day, steak and BJ Day? The week after Valentine's Day, my mum came home with steak. Me and my sister just looked at each other disgusted. Oh no, Dad, wow. You need it at the pub for the next 6 hours. Get out the fucking house. My mum didn't know, so she claims it's like the one in the Discord from Magic posting in the Discord said he was looking at his dad's YouTube and in his search history was hardcore porn. So he questioned his dad, and his dad was like, "I was trying to find the fucking TV program, hardcore PAWN." So he's like, "Yeah, all right, course, mate, yeah." Thanks for reminding me. I don't want to blowy off him. I work in a local place. Yeah, it's half cafe, half convenience store. We're in delivery now, so in the long run, you can order your food, but also get some essentials like milk, bread, chocolate, etc. Or like many of our customers, cigs and booze too. Nice. Do they deliver to Exeter? I don't think so. Everyone is on about Valentine's Day, but no one is mentioning it's half price chocolate day tomorrow. That's next level thinking. That's next level thinking. Next level thinking. Anyway, let's jump into some news. Thank you very, very much for joining us on this Valentine's Day. Actually, has anyone been in Big Ham's stream this morning? Let me just throw out a shout out for Big Hamish 88. Do feel free to check out Big Hamish 88. I don't know if he was waiting for a tweet, so I'm not going to say anything unless he's said stuff. If he hasn't said anything, I'll shut up. If he has, then nice. Do feel free to share the summary in the chat, and then I will say it back to you. But yeah, do check out Big Hamish 88. Not now, obviously, because we're streaming, but do feel free to go over and see Ham. The tweet is out. Nice. Okay. Or is it? Is it? Is it? Let me see. There we go. Okay, I'll put it on stream. I'll put it on screen even. Where is my Chrome source? There. Boop. Okay, nothing screams Valentine's Day quite like a crossbow-wielding Cupid and free Nando's UK. Dodge all of Love's arrows in Big Hamish 88's custom matches on console tonight. And we'll give you £50 towards that peri-peri chicken dinner. Tune in at 7:30, twitch.tv/Big Hamish 88. So if you don't know Ham, he is, let me get the link to that tweet for you. He is streaming in partnership with PUBG EU tonight. There's the link to the tweet. Go through, give him some love, let him know. Yeah, and if you're not doing anything super romantic tonight, you're not plans to go out for meals or whatever, then do feel free to drop into Big Ham streams 7:30 tonight. Nice. Also, we are going to be shouting out other friends in this stream because we are going to start off with one big, very un-Valentine's-y story. But before we do jump into that, we also want to give you a little bit of a roundup. So today's headline story is the fact that horror game Martha is Dead will be censored on PlayStation platforms. PlayStation is censoring games. But potentially within reason. We will see. Oh, Mr. iLotus UK. Thank you very much for the raid. Hey, the Triggermeister. Dropping the big old raid. Thank you very much. I love you. Just in time for us to start the news. So we're starting off by talking about Martha is Dead. It's going to be out on multiple platforms soon. It's a new game coming from Wide Productions. But it is... I don't know how... It's got some... How do I put it? Sensitive content, questionable content, maybe is another word other people might use. So as a result, that game will be censored, but only on PlayStation. Xbox and PC users, as of right now, have no censorship within that. There is not much details, but we will go through the details that we do have and have a conversation. We'll then jump into the fact that Infinity Ward is discussing Warzone Chapter 2 and does confirm a Modern Warfare sequel. We knew that. We've known that for weeks, but it's now been confirmed. It was just leaks before. It's now official. Amazon's latest MMO Lost Ark has already had the 5th largest Steam concurrent users record ever. And then that was updated to it's now the 2nd biggest ever behind PUBG, just in case you didn't know that, by the way. PUBG, biggest, nice. Let's go. And then finally, we'll finish up with a little bit of news on GoldenEye. If you want to play the HD 007 remaster, well, we'll have information on that. But before we do that, let me give you a little bit of a reminder that Horizon Forbidden West, is it out now or is it out this week-ish kind of thing? I can't quite remember the release date. Does it say?
I think it's out today.
It could be. It could be out today. Anyway, the reviews for it are out. That's the thing that we're talking about. So Horizon Forbidden West is the sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn. And I just want to shout out our very, very...
18th.
Oh, Friday. There we go. Timeless knows. Let's go Timeless. So it's out on Friday. But our good friends at Next Gen Base, you may have seen Mr. Tassim Anvia, noted industry leaker, in the chat. You may have seen Next Gen Base themselves within the chat. Ben, Nico, Asim, Gary, they have all joined us in stream and on the stream at various times over the last 2 years or so on Twitch. Well, it's now our turn to give them a little bit of a shout out because Horizon Forbidden West is out this week. Thank you, Timeless. It's out on Friday, but the reviews are out now. And long story short, it's a fecking good game. It's getting 10s and 9s all the way across the board, the latter of which has been given by Mr. Ben Ward himself. I won't go through the full review. I will leave that one for you guys, but I do want to shout out Ben for this review. I will give you the summary, though. So if you don't want the summary, do feel free to stop listening for 20 seconds. It's no spoilers, by the way. Ben and Next Gen Base are incredibly good at giving you reviews without giving you spoilers. So don't worry, it's not going to spoil the game. What he does say, though, is it is another magnificent visual showpiece for the PS5 that runs surprisingly well on the PS4 too. Horizon Forbidden West is a great new chapter in Aloy's story. If you like Zero Dawn, you'll absolutely love this, making it a must-play. He gave it a 9 out of 10. If you don't like reading, though, the good thing about Ben and Next Gen Base is that every review they do, they put it in a video format too. So if you don't want to spend your day reading, then just do you know what? Even if you do want to spend your day reading, do me a favour. Just go click on that link. At some point over the course of the day, just hit play and leave it. It'll only take 10 minutes. Just let it play through. Give them a view. Nice. A little YouTube view. Every view obviously helps them. Ben spent the entire weekend. He doesn't get paid for this. He spent the entire weekend reviewing the game in both written and video format. So if you guys can just go through, give them a YouTube view, smash that like button for them as well. I've done it already. You can see my comment down below. Not here, on their video, obviously. So yeah, if you guys can do that too, it would be very nice. We're helping our friends out. Nice. It's Valentine's Day. Give me the love tonight. Sorry, Twitch. That wasn't Dr. Disrespect. That was Professor Respectful. It was a completely different guy. Nice. So yeah, anyway, Horizon Forbidden West is out on Friday. Thank you very much, Timeless. So if we can go help our friends, give them a YouTube view, that would be very, very much appreciated. I mean, they're doing okay on YouTube. They've got 22,000 subscribers. They're good. But if we can help them push them further, then it's nice. Tell you what's not nice, though. Slicing people's faces off. Nice tangent for Valentine's Day, but it's not really a tangent. It's actually the story. Let me jump straight into the news. Neil Alreitz, Iceman, welcome in. Actually, let me jump back through the chat. Bully's here. Hey, how you doing? Spike says there is no reason to censor games. You have age ratings for that, in my opinion. Good conversation piece. We'll come back to that in just a few seconds. Just confirm my dinner: Sunday roast, gammon, and chips. Whew. Iceman eating like Iceman, just for a change. Yeah,
absolutely. I need to know who his chef is, because every single day he comes in with some absolute madness.
It's like I'm sat here. It's like I'm eating pretty well today. I've got a nice mature cheddar and ham on bread. And he comes in. Yeah, that's nice. I've got some gammon plus some triple cooked chips, some corn on the cob, and some homemade coleslaw. And then it's like, all right, calm down, get out of here. Mystic Mac says, "Is there a purple room theme party we need to know about?" Yeah, it's always like this. It's when it goes to the red lights. That's when you want to be. Welcome in, Mystic Mac. How we doing?
Trying. There we go.
See, I can do that, but I have to turn off my nano leaf, because if not, it just overpowers everything.
It doesn't quite look as good during the day, which is a bit annoying.
Nah. Back in the room. Whoop.
I want to play Resident Evil in the evening. It's absolutely fantastic, but during the day, sat in front of a window, it's a little bit leave it.
It is Valentine's Day after all. Get it right. Yeah, that's the thing though, because like there's a room in my there's a window in my room just here. There's a window in Bibby's room in about the same place, and if we're both just sat in bright red lit up rooms on Valentine's Day,
I'm going to do that tonight.
Anyway, okay, let's jump back into the stories. Okay, this is the main story of the day. This one has had a lot of people talking over the weekend. You might have seen it, you might have not. But horror game Martha is Dead will be censored on PlayStation platforms. It's currently unclear what content has been removed. Xbox and PC versions will be unaffected. This is written by Jordan Midler at VGC. Let me stop for just a quick second, actually. A quick tangent. I'm sorry for all the tangents. We will get into the news. But shout out to Jordan Midler. And I always get his name wrong. Andy Robinson.
Yes, that's
nailed it. I keep calling him Robertson, and I think it's because the Liverpool fucking left back's done my head in. But,
living in your head rent free.
Yeah, exactly. But Andy Robinson, who is the big dog at VGC. Jordan Midler is a staff writer at VGC. They did tweet out over the weekend that they've been given a load of shit recently. They're just a news site. They produce video game news. Nothing malicious, but they've been successful. Success naturally brings haters. So shout out to the writers at VGC. Anyway, they were having some shit and posted about it. So Bibby took a clip just the day before that happened. We were in the studio talking about how VGC is our most referenced news site. So we shared that with them on social media, and they liked it. They gave us some follows and they gave us some encouraging messages back. So shout out to VGC. Keep doing what you're doing. Nice. Appreciate it, guys. Anyway, horror game Martha is Dead will be censored on PlayStation platforms. It's currently unclear what content has been removed. Xbox and PC versions will be unaffected. The main body then says, Martha is Dead, the upcoming game from Wide Productions, and LKA has had content removed in the PS5 and PS4 versions of the game. It has been announced. In a statement posted to Twitter, the team claimed that the Xbox and PC versions of the game would be unaffected. However, exactly which content has been removed from the PlayStation platforms was not disclosed. Quote, Martha is Dead is a narrative adventure recommended for adult audiences only, with play consisting of potentially discomforting scenes and themes that may distress some players. The statement continues, it is with regret that we have had to modify the experience on the PS5 and PS4 versions with some elements no longer playable. After over 4 years of passion and hard work, developer LKA now requires extra time to make these unplanned changes. Martha is Dead, as a result, will still launch digitally on both PS5 and PS4 on Thursday, February 24th, but the physical release will be delayed to a year to disclosed date. What? Okay, that doesn't. Okay, do you know what? It'll be delayed. We'll leave it there. Martha is Dead is described as a dark first-person psychological thriller set in 1944 Italy that, quote, blurs the lines between reality, superstition, and the tragedy of war, end quote. As conflict intensifies between German and Allied forces, the desecrated body of a woman is found drowned. Martha! Exclamation mark, end quote. In our hands-on last year, we called Martha is Dead a, quote, striking and atmospheric psychological thriller, one that won't be to everyone's tastes, but should be an intriguing adventure for those who don't mind things getting very dark. Our preview read, quote, as long as you're able to cope with the mature and frequently macabre themes that appear to be infused throughout the entire plot, then this has the potential to be one of those games that sticks in your mind long after the credits roll, end quote. While the removed content hasn't been disclosed, even from our preview, it's clear Martha is Dead plans to push the limits of what's been done in console horror games beyond what's already available on PlayStation. In an example from our demo, quote, during one particularly disturbing dream sequence, the player has to physically cut off someone's face in unflinching graphic detail and wear it as a mask. The game also requires the player to take pictures of your sister's body as she lies in her open casket. Woo! Okay, deep stuff. Having to cut someone's face off, and there is a clip doing the rounds of a fellow member of the Coin Army. So Zoe Delahunty-Light, aka Zoe Dells on Twitter. I think it's Zoe_Dells, actually. She is a member of the Eurogamer team. She also is part of the Coin Army. We stream over on Insert Coins channel, as does Zoe. Anyway, she was playing the game for Eurogamer, and she has to do that scene where she cuts off someone's face. And that has been doing the rounds this morning to show how graphic the game can be. Having to cut someone's face off and wear it. Okay, it's graphic, but... Is that or isn't that what age ratings are for? What are your thoughts, Bib?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what Spike's been saying in the chat. He said there's an age rating there for a reason. Like, I don't want to say that the horror community and the psychological horror community have been screaming out for a game like this, but we've been wanting a game to scare the living shit out of us and give us that feeling after the fact where you're thinking that was either absolutely amazing, that was terrifying. I mean, me and Samantha played Visage on this channel. I have played so many survival horror games on this channel. I don't think there's any more left for me to be able to cover. So having stuff like this to come in and give you that edge of your seat, I don't really want to look at the screen, I'm looking through my fingers moments. That's the kind of stuff that I live for in survival horror games. Of course, the subject matter on some of them will toe the line. What about now if the PT scene, I mean, if you've not played PT by now and you've not watched any of the walkthroughs on YouTube, like what are you doing at this moment in time? Like you should have watched these by now. But like having the fetus in the sink and stuff like that, is that the kind of stuff now that people will be crying out that it should be banned as well? It wasn't that long ago that the likes of Manhunt was being banned. There is a particular scene at the very beginning of Resident Evil 2. Again, if you've not played that game now, I'm probably going to spoil it for you. But there's a moment as you walk through the RPD and you see one of your RPD colleagues sat in the corner and he has half of his face ripped off. You go to pull back his head, his jaw slightly falls down and stuff. That for me stuff is a little bit more terrifying than this. Like there was a film called Face Off, for fuck's sake, where someone gets their face taken off and put on somebody else's. Of course you didn't get to see it in graphic detail and stuff like that, but these are the games that have age ratings, and I don't want to. It feels like having your artistic direction taken away from you from a particular company, but not the rest of them. There is only one console I will be playing this game on, and that is on my Xbox, because they're the guys that are going to be telling me that I can play this game in full. I want their full artistic direction being adhered to, and I can't believe PlayStation has done that. I don't know who's pushed back on this, whether or not they want to dictate how scary something is to somebody else, or if you don't want to play it and these mature things are happening in the game, then you don't have to play it. Like, I understand it might not be your cup of tea having to take a picture of your dead sister in a casket and stuff like that, but films have been doing this for decades. Obviously there has been banned films like I Spit on Your Grave and of things like that, which have the most horrific subject matters, and rightly so, they were probably banned. But this seems tame in comparison, and yet it's still put into the same category as those entertainment medias that have been now banned. So it's interesting where some games toe the line and others don't. But this, for me, I think this is tame. Like, could you put this alongside the mission in Call of Duty where you go into an airport and you take it and you're shooting, and you're taking out the entire airport? Like that has obviously been banned in some countries. I think it's only one, actually. It didn't get banned over it, did it? Was it just Russia that it got banned in? But the rest of the world got to see it. And you do have the prompt now at the beginning of it to skip it if you want to. That definitely should have been included in this game. I don't know. I mean, I'm gutted because this company now will not be getting my money via PlayStation. They will be getting it via Xbox. But I feel like having things taken away from you shouldn't be allowed in an entertainment form, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I get that. What's up and down with the sound volume button? Says Lake. What? I've just dropped baby's volume for me, but that should have changed it for you. Does it all sound good? Is it too loud? What are you saying? Okay, let me jump back through the comments then. Can I share an image in chat? As it's Valentine's Day, I want to share some love for ice cream. This is a little Easter egg in my upcoming Project Zomboid map that I'm working on. I didn't know about this, by the way. So let me just quickly bring this one on screen. The link was a DDoS. I think it was. It fucking seems like it. God damn it. Let's kill that. Let's kill that. Let's bring that back. Baby should be back on full screen. Are we all good? Are we all good? Can you see us? Refresh. Refresh. Nice. OBS locked up. OBS just didn't like it. It saw how creative Spike was being and thought, fuck this shit, I'm out. So yeah, if you didn't get to see it, I'm not going to click it again. Because Spike's already taken us down once. We're not doing it again. So yeah, there you go. Project Zomboid, Spike's teaser. Nice. Cheers, Spike, for killing the whole stream. God damn it. Okay, let me jump back through the comments, though. So we did have Spike's comment there. Scenes that may distress viewers. Shit, have they got my sex tape? Says Spike. No comment. Please tell me the main character is Nicolas Cage. You want to take his face off. Nice. It's not going to be the first time a game has been censored on one console but not another. Just look at the first Mortal Kombat with blood being replaced with sweat on SNES. Good old Nintendo. Horror is meant to be gory or scary. I mean, for me, horror is more about what your mind suggests to you than what you actually see. Yet gore is also great for horror fans too. I mean, look at Hostel. That's gruesome, but it's a great film. Timeless was going to mention Face Off too. Cup of tea, says Lotus. So I'll go on then. Just a 1T, actually. Nothing wrong with I Spit on Your Grave. Nothing says revenge like a shotgun barrel up the poop chute. My Easter egg wasn't that bad, was it? It seems like it was. It was just, well, not bad. It was that good. The internet just couldn't handle it. Tried to shut us down. If you are still in the stream, we appreciate that. If you did drop a host or anything before and it's disappeared, then do feel free to drop it again. Not that we can tell, because hosts still are giving alerts on Twitch for some strange reason. But yes, jumping back into it, Martha is Dead will be censored on the PS4, PS5. Is there anyone? I mean, I don't want to shame people, so don't feel free like you have to jump in, because obviously the point is that your opinion is meant to be your opinion. We encourage people having different opinions. We don't want everyone to just think the same way that we think. That's where the discussions come from. So is there anyone that is happy with this being removed from PlayStation's version of the game? Having to peel someone's face off as part of the game, having to take photos of a dead relative. Is that too far for anyone? It's okay if it is, and it's okay if it isn't. That's completely fine. I just want to know if we are all of the same sort of consensus here, or not.
All is up.
I mean, I haven't said necessarily what my consensus is, and I believe it shouldn't be. And I go back to things. I feel like this censoring stuff. We've seen it so many times before, and time is, how do we put it? Time, I wasn't going to say breaks down the walls. Not that time should make the most atrocious things in life be accessible, but everything, nothing should be too taboo to be discussed. And yes, peeling someone's face off and taking pictures of dead people doesn't need to be in games if it's done in the wrong way. But if it's part of a deeper story, that can be done in a way that builds towards a story. So for me, I don't necessarily agree with that. I think age rating is enough censorship for me. I wouldn't want Chloe playing that, but Chloe shouldn't be playing an 18-plus game anyway. Chloe has played games that are outside of her age rating, like PUBG, because I've done the filtering there and allowed her to play that with me. But something like this, I would do the filtering and go, okay, this is beyond that. When you are emotionally stable enough to deal with that, then fill your boots. That said, emotionally stable enough isn't something that is locked purely behind an age rating. Some people are 18 and will not be able to deal with that. Some people are 80 and will not be able to deal with that. That is something that you should be emotionally stable enough to make the decision on as an adult. If you are... I mean, I don't like to use the word triggered. Because I know I use the word triggered off the cuff. I know the word triggered is something that has some meanings behind it that I don't fully understand. I don't know if the word trigger warning is okay. I think it is. So the game should have enough trigger warning for you to know that, okay, well, that will trigger me and my insecurities, or my... insecurities might not be the right word, but you get what I'm saying. If this is not for you, then don't watch it. Don't play it. It's an 18 horror game called Martha is Dead. That's in the title. So that Triggermeister, that's the one. Triggermeister. So for me, I think there's enough. There's fair warning there that there's something in this. So for me, I don't think it should be censored. If it's fine enough for Xbox to look at it and go, okay, well, this is extreme content, but it's extremely censored in the fact that it's only available to adults. Teenagers, PG-12s and 15s don't get access to this content because they potentially aren't emotionally stable enough to deal with this. So we'll put it behind an adult restriction. This is them going, okay, you as an adult are not equipped to see this. And it probably comes from a good place, but is censorship? I mean, where does it stop? Where does the good place come from? We want to protect you, so Do you know what? I'm going to stop there because I'm going to go down a tangent.
Yeah. On the back of anything, really, like especially on games nowadays, an 18 for just violence and gore is one thing, but an 18 for a game that contains violence, gore, scenes of a sexual nature, drug abuse, extreme profanity, all that stuff are two completely different things. But I think games nowadays have all of that stuff on the back of the case, don't they? So it'll say like 18 plus, and then in like speech marks, it'll be like a syringe because it has drug use in it and stuff like that. It's like people nowadays have the option to either play it or not, and it usually does it gives you a good enough indication before you play it. Like either digitally, it'll tell you in the blurb on stuff like that. Like it tells you exactly what the game is going to contain or the film is going to contain, like flashing images or whatever it is. Like yeah, I think there's enough information out there for people to be able to have before they play the game. Like the best scenario for them for this, if it's that bad and they think people probably won't play it or they want to be able to play it and then skip those events, is again like what they did in Modern Warfare, like just have the option to be able to get rid of that mission if you want. Albeit, if you're playing a storyline game and it's part of the story and you have that bit taken out, is the story then complete? Are you only playing half the story? Maybe, but if... for me, there's only one way around this, and that's by playing it or not playing it. You have all the information at your fingertips to make a judgment call off of that. I don't like censorship being taken away from you in an art form unless it's absolutely ridiculous. But this is a video game, not based on real events or anything like that. Like this is all someone's imagination.
I mean, art is the word that you've just put there, and that's where you're separating. I feel like it's a dated mindset for me, because people and censors of any variety are fully aware that art can push the boundaries. Obviously, if art is tasteless, then it's just unnecessary shit. But art generally pushes the boundaries in any realistic medium. But video games, it's still that. Is it really art though? Yeah. It's still just video games. It's not art, but it is. Art is subjective. Art is. I'm not even going to define what art is. You can't define what it is. So you can't, if you can't define what it is, then how can you say what it isn't? How can you clearly go that, well, video games aren't art, they are just video games? It is art. It pushes the envelope just like anything else does. And this is the same way that video games are kind of 30 years behind cinema. You go back 40 years, 50 years, go back to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I believe that had Leatherface, who wears someone else's face. That got banned because there was a scene where, I don't know if it was that scene, but there was a scene where Leatherface smacks someone in the head with a hammer. They hit the floor and start shaking and writhing around on the floor when they're dead. And that was like realism that wasn't ever really seen in the cinema. There could have been other bits in it as well that probably led to it. But that was the bit that kind of, I always remembered, like seeing a body like... what's the word? Like, I'll just go with shaking on the floor. And people were like, yeah, but bodies just drop to the floor and then they're dead. What is this? And that's a bit scary. So it got banned. And then they realised, actually, do you know what? Banning it to protect people isn't really protecting people, because it's not real. People understand it's theatre, and yeah, it can be unsettling, but it's meant to make you uncomfortable, to make you think, to give you stuff to process. And if you don't want to process that stuff, then maybe don't watch a film called Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because the clue was in the name. And it's not just the names. It's like someone mentioned in the chat, PEGI ratings and stuff. There, Spike there. The issue with it doesn't stop any person buying it. You can legally sell an 18-rated PEGI product to a toddler. It's only the BBFC ratings that stop the retailer from selling to underage gamers. So games like this should be forced to go through the BBFC rating system, in my opinion. But like, you still can't get past the fact that whether you can or can't buy it, I don't know what the law is regarding PEGI, so I can't respond to that. But whether you can or can't buy it, there is information on there that gives people the ability to make that what's the word I'm looking for? Educated decision. So I can see, okay, I've got the information. The game is called Martha is Dead. It tells me that there is violence, graphic scenes, peeling off someone's faces. I don't know if it will actually say that in the kind of thingy, but it'll give you enough information to make that judgment call. Mm-hmm. If people don't act on that information, then that's kind of, how far do you go? Because if people can't just go off of basic information, letting them know what the trigger warnings are going to be, then, well, we'll have to pull the informed decision. There we go, nice one, Tito. So if people that aren't making informed decisions based on that information, and we're having to censor it, well, if that's the case, then we'd have to pull the censoring back even further. If people, it's like, well, we can't even allow it to exist because, people are giving the information and still making the wrong decisions. Surely that's their choice. And I fully believe 10, 15, 20 years down the line, this stuff will be old news, just like Thrill Kill was, just like Grand Theft Auto was, just like Texas Chainsaw Massacre was, and all sorts of other things. It'll just be one of those things that's actually, this has done well to make more people experience this, because you've just opened it up to a world that's now like, ooh, I want to see that. It's that queue mentality. You go to a theme park and there's a bunch of people queuing for something, a bunch of people talking about something. I want to know what they're talking about. I'm going to get involved. So yeah, Martha is Dead. A lot of sensitive conversations around it at the moment, but I think that will just help sell even more copies of the game. So Wired Productions are sat there going, let's go, boys. I mean, obviously, all of the sales are just coming through PC and Xbox, but it's fine. We'll take it anyway. So the vote is just about to finish. Bibby did drop a poll in the chat. I think it was Bibby. It could have been Tito, to be fair. It says, should Martha is Dead be censored? 90% says no. 10% says yes. So...
Lake skewed that, by the way. He put in the chat that he voted yes just for the sake of it.
Fuck's sake. so
basically 100% of people.
Nice. No, I mean, nice, whatever. It's not nice as in, yes, win. It's nice to know that we're all on the same page, but obviously people don't have to be. But, yeah. Where did we go? Let me jump back up. Also, screw unnecessary censorship, even from a non-horror fan. Damn it, Spike, you fucked the whole stream with your creative genius. Virus? Nah, Trojan, I want Graham's nudes. I'll send you them anyway. God damn it. Where did we get to? It's a game, for fuck's sake, says Lotus. Play it or don't. No one is forcing them to play it. Tito says, give people the option. Don't remove it entirely. Lotus now sticks the boot in. Bunch of wet lettuces. Not happy with it, but I don't understand why certain companies may censor it for their platforms from a business perspective. But do you not think that's a double-edged sword? You censor it to look after your user bases. I understand if that was a Nintendo, which is a family console and things like that, but for something like PlayStation, which is still allowing a game that's 18 plus called Martha is Dead onto its platform, do you not think that's kind of like I want your business and I want you to do all of the stuff, but I also kind of want to be seen to be like, it's not really doing anything fully. I want to be fully open and let you be an adult for yourself, but I also want to be seen to be protecting you and stopping you from stuff. And it's like, well, I'm an adult. You know I'm an adult, so I should be able to look after myself, right? Yeah. You don't believe in my abilities to judge for myself. Is that what you're saying? Or because other people don't have the ability to judge for themselves, I also shouldn't have the ability to judge for myself. Where does the line? So it's for things like Nintendo, definitely. PlayStation, I'm not so sure. Yeah, I agree to you. Do what COD did to mention it and give the option in the options. I feel like for something like a horror game, though, that's probably where you need something. There was a game a while back, I can't remember, 6 months-ish ago, that had a similar sort of thing that was like super triggering. And I feel like that's where you need a start-up screen, as in like, just to let you know, before you start, this shit is about to get real. Genuinely sit down, read these words. This is going to test you.
What game was that?
I can't remember what it was. But that's what I'm saying. So it kind of needs that, because if you have that just before it's about to happen, then that's breaking the immersion. So like a lot of the build up, and then it goes, oh, by the way, shit's about to get scary now. It's like, oh well, I'm not scared now because you just stopped me with a big like thingy. So yeah.
I can't remember what that game was.
Yeah, I can't either.
It wasn't that long ago, was it? It was like within the last couple of years.
It probably, like I say, I think it was 6 months-ish, maybe a year, but I can't remember what it was. Bite on Nintendo, you know things are likely to be family-friendly and turned down for an audience. I don't think people expect the same from Sony. I agree. Lake voted yes, just for the hell of it. Nice. Growing up, my mother convinced me the house was haunted by a ghost named Martha. I don't think I'll play this, says Nietzsche. Fuck's sake. I've seen myself naked. I am more than enough equipped to deal with anything now. No wonder you hate ghosts, Nietzsche, says Tito. Yeah, Peggy ratings cover a wide range of themes and have images for what a game contains on the covers. Martha has a grazed knee, the censored version. The Hills of Eyes. Yeah, another one. Timeless says, that's not correct. Peggy is now law in the UK. See, I don't know. I will bow to Timeless's knowledge there, because Timeless works in video game retail, so I don't know. So I will say yes, nice, okay. And has been for a number of years. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre was very loosely based on real life compared to a video game. But even still, it's based on, and even if it isn't based on, even if it's like a recreation of real life, it's not people actually being murdered. So it's still in that base a recreation, not actually. It's not a snuff film. People aren't having their heads smashed in with mallets. So, but if someone having their head smashed in with a mallet versus someone having their head smashed in with a mallet that was just made up, what's the difference? On screen, it's still a visual representation of someone having their head smashed in with a mallet, for me at least. I know that obviously if it is something that means something to those people, say a family member, that's probably a little bit different. But that's when you'd get all of the sign-off saying, okay, that's where you see at the end of every film, this film is not based on real-life events or persons. Any similarities are purely coincidental. Obviously, if it is based on someone, then that needs to be approved and goes through all of those sort of approval stuff. But then if that family member of that person said, yeah, that's fine, you can use this, just give me £6 million and we'll go. And they think it's all right, then surely it's fine, right? I don't know.
I've just clicked on a link to try and find the name of the game that we've just been talking about, which is still escaping me, but someone in the comments section has put PlayStation, and then like a quote from them, play has no limits. So that's a fucking lie then.
Touche. If that's the case, I'm glad that's how it should have been. I always refused people games when I thought they were too young, but I'm very much on the side of censorship is not okay, and the consumer should be in control of what they consume. I agree. I do agree. I agree entirely, because what's to say who, like the people in charge of censoring, how much can they censor? Like, where does their censorship control stop? And if it's done for the right reasons, you can be quite oppressive for the right reasons. So I'm from a journalistic background of I want to make my informed decisions based on my own information, and I will choose what I do or do not want to see. If I know there's something that I'm not going to enjoy, I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to see it. Case in point, very recent. It happened just last week, Kurt Zuma and the whole cat situation. I started to watch the video, realised what was going to happen, stopped watching the video. It's probably not the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's something I don't want to see because it would just get me unnecessarily angry. So I turned it off because I thought, I don't need to see that shit. He's an arsehole. Don't need to see it. The words around it are enough for me to go, yeah, fuck that. Don't want it. It wouldn't end my day watching it. Probably wouldn't have scarred me, but I opted to censor that for myself because I don't need that. But in a video game, I don't really need any of that stuff, but I'm happy enough to let it push me in certain ways. So I will choose, actually, no, that's it. That's enough for me. Bibby mentioned PT. I was playing through PT and got to the point where I was like, wow, okay, my heart is going. I've got like cold sweat going on. This fucking something's going to jump out and scare the shit out of me. I'm going to pause the game and look at my phone. I'm going to scroll Twitter, which back then didn't have a night mode. So it was full on bright, like, ha. So it was like, okay, that's me cut out. That's me away from the game. That's the immersion broken. Yeah, exactly. I needed it. Fucking so, but then jump back in again. I censored or gave myself the respite that I needed because I made an informed decision as an adult that okay, woosah, and go again. Surely others can do that, right? I work for Game and work for HMV. It changed not long after I left HMV, but that's why games tend to just have PEGI ratings now and no BBFC symbols. Just Google it. 2012, it became law. Wow, is it that far back? Shows how little kept up with that, but it took them a long time. It was okay for years when I worked in it. No, I think companies censor it for their own protection and not their player bases. I think laws for anything digital are woefully behind in most regards. Touche, I agree. Pucker up your sphincter and make sure you're wearing your brown pants. Nice. I'm just saying that as why the film might have been banned, but it was based on... Ed Gein, the guy who Silence the Lambs is based on. Oh, there you go. Didn't know. Did they say why they've had to censor their game on PlayStation? Sorry, I missed the start of the section. No worries, Madge. Welcome in, by the way. No, there is no reasoning detailed yet as to what has been censored or why. Just that the game won't be full. So their actual tweet, which I will click on, I'll read their tweet out in full. So it did paraphrase it in that. We'll go over this one more time before we wrap this story up. But this is a tweet from @MarthaIsDead on Twitter. A statement on Martha is Dead, says the actual tweet, whereas there's an image within it. I'll put it on screen so you guys can see it too. Oh, maybe I won't, because this is what killed. There we go, it's back. Okay, Martha is Dead. Martha is Dead PlayStation update. Martha is Dead is a narrative adventure recommended for adult audiences only, with play consisting of potentially discomforting scenes and themes that may distress some players. Both Wide Productions and LKH have always been open and honest about Martha is Dead content, with the sensitive depictions in play consistently communicated to the media since the game was announced in 2019. The content is also flagged clearly and repeatedly within the game itself before play begins. It is with regret that we've had to modify the experience on the PS5 and PS4 versions, with some elements no longer playable. After over 4 years of passion and hard work, developer LKH now requires extra time to make these unplanned changes. Martha is Dead, as a result, will still launch digitally on both PS5 and PS4 on Thursday, February the 24th, 2022. But the physical release, retail release, will be delayed to a yet-to-be-disclosed date, although we anticipate this to only be a small number of weeks. Our physical edition will still contain the bonus content of a double-sided poster, digital tarot cards, and Martha is Dead digital EP. We will update the players with the day we ship this edition as soon as we have the information. The PC and Xbox versions of Martha is Dead are both unaffected by these developments and will launch with the full, unedited gameplay as planned. We look forward to players experiencing the work of LKH on Thursday, February 24th, 2022. So there you go. That's the full message. They have been open. They have been honest. They include content being flagged clearly and repeatedly within the game itself before play begins, as well as all of the other communications to the media since the game was announced in 2019. Is that not enough? For me, that is. For me, that is. I can make the decision there, PlayStation. Nope. Okay. Don't want to play that. Fine. Boom. Do want to play that. Fine. Boom. Why you make this? Why you kill so fast? No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm not interested in that. Thank you very much. Okay, comments. Spike says, I mean, when it comes to this subject, I remember watching Basic Instinct where the opening scene was a naked woman riding a guy and then shoving an ice pick through his eyeball, which was uncensored in the version I saw, so I guess I'm quite used to sensitive content. Remember when COD censored Nazi signs in World War II, and people were living? Was that supposed to be livid? I don't know, but I kind of get it, because they have to make different versions for every country depending on what their laws are, and it's just so much work, just easier to remove it. There was a film called, does anyone know the film Red Dawn, which had Liam Hemsworth and a few other people from like Hunger Games kind of stuff, and it was about, I think it was like Japan invades North America, and this Red Dawn was about a group of teens, basically, that put up a fight against the invaders and push them back. And it was something along the lines of they didn't want to piss off Japan because of censorship reasons, and they didn't want the game to be squashed there, so they just changed the Japanese flags in post-production to Korean flags, and were just like, this is their words, not mine, by the way. Yeah, they all look the same. It'd be fine. Nobody will even notice that it's Korean people, Japanese people are not Korean if there's a Korean flag there. And it was just like, yeah, and that was kind of, for me, even worse. You're censoring it based on not even my own instincts. That was a purely business decision that you've changed the game. And because of your censorship, you're telling me that everyone from an Asian region looks the same, is the same person. No. So, yeah, shithouse censorship that doesn't need to be there. More shithouse censorship that doesn't need to be there. So, not a fan, PlayStation. Not a fan. Okay, finish up the comments. Thanks for clearing that. No worries. Oh, Cameron, good morrow. Let me see if I can find my Disco Lights button. I've lost it.
No. Oh.
What, did you think I was going to sing to you then?
Yeah.
No, it's just...
why not?
Okay, no, Disco Lights. There you go. Nice. There you go. It literally says it's just the lights change. Isn't much, but thank you very much.
Happy birthday anyway, Shagger.
Birthday. Oh, I didn't see that. What now? Now I understand what Bibby was knowing for. Okay, I get it. Sorry, Cameron. I didn't realise. Let me be the first to say, Okay. Fixed it. Nice. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, mate.
Yes, I apologise for putting you through that, but it's them's the rules. Okay, happy birthday, fella. You're a full week ahead of me and many years later. Is it bleeding? Oh, no. No one, please, do not spoil Super. Gonna watch it when I leave from work. Lake, spoilers. It's not a ball. Oh, no. It's an egg. It's hand egg. It's not football. Russia and North Korea invaded America. Wolverines. We actually did the social media for that film. That's how I know all of that stuff. In the 80s, it was Russia that invaded, but that will never happen. Yeah, that was the original film. I'm on about the more recent remake kind of thing. My net broke for a second and refreshed to this. You're welcome. Yeah. Anyway, okay. We're going to move ahead since we've been live for a good chunk of time. I don't even know how long because the stream shit itself in the middle. So we will put a pin in this. Not literally, Sony. No need to censor that. There will be no inserting of any forms of pins and stuff. Do yourself a favor, though. If you do want to see something graphic and you do feel that you can censor for yourself enough, go look for a clip of Zoe Delahunty on social media. You can see her playing Martha is Dead for Eurogamer. So you can see at that point kind of where the graphic nature of the game goes. It is a little bit discomforting. I will say it's not the worst thing I've seen in a video game ever, though, by a long way. I don't know if that is what has been removed or not. We don't know. But yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world. So if you want to see that, go and search it out. If not, you don't have to. We can probably drop a link in the Discord if anyone wants it or anything. But for now, let's get a little bit nicer and stop talking about violence and graphic content and unnecessary death. And let's start talking about Modern Warfare, which includes violence and unnecessary death, just like any other fucking video game pretty much does. But Jordan Midler, once again at BGC, says Infinity Ward discusses Warzone Chapter 2 and confirms Modern Warfare sequel. So future Call of Duty titles will now be developed with the same engine. Ooh. Spicy meatball. Was this? I think someone shared this in the Discord with us, right? Whoever it was, let yourself be known. And if you didn't, then never mind. I just want to give someone props if they did. Anyway, Activision has revealed the future of Warzone, including a new client, during a conversation with Call of Duty influencers. According to content creators such as Pro Reborn and Jack Frags, Skid Eric, hey, there he is, Mr. PUBG himself. Oh wait, that could be one of them. A number of people, I suppose. It could be Lotus UK, the Trigger Meister. It could be West. Okay, one of Mr. Pro PUBGs themselves. How we doing, Skate Eric? Thank you very much for dropping the follow. Welcome into the stream. We are talking about video games. We're actually talking about Warzone at this point in time. I'll start it again. So Activision has revealed the future of Warzone, including a new client, during a conversation with Call of Duty influencers. According to content creators such as Pro Reborn and Jack Frags, good guy Jack Frags, by the way, friend of the channel, during a call with the co-studio head of Infinity Ward, Patrick Kelly, the team discussed its hopes for the next installment of Warzone. The call also revealed that this year's Call of Duty title would launch with a sandbox mode, although no details about this mode were given. Also revealed was that future integrations of Call of Duty titles into Warzone should be smoother now that all teams working on Call of Duty are working on the same engine. Patrick Kelly mentioned that he hopes in the new chapter of Warzone that, quote, no two matches play the same and to, quote, let players define what winning looks like. That sounds like PUBG, to be fair. But, Activision also confirmed on the call that 2022's game will be a sequel to 2019's Modern Warfare. As first reported by VGC, Modern Warfare 2's campaign will be centered around the drug war against Colombian cartels. Sources said the single-player story is a grittier take on Modern Warfare 2019's campaign with more close-quarters combat, tricky decision-making, and the classic Call of Duty set-piece moments fans have come to expect. Earlier this month, Activision confirmed that Infinity Ward would lead the development of 2022's Call of Duty Premium and Warzone experiences. We'll stop there. There's only one line left, but we'll stop there. So, Mr. Bibb, Warzone 2 will be Modern Warfare based. We'll be using a new engine that all of the games will be using. Is this good for you?
Yes and no. I think getting used to one engine would be fantastic from an esports point of view, because, I mean, it kind of goes without saying, if anyone's been in the space or has played any Call of Duty in like the last 10 years, that every single game seems to play differently, which can potentially hinder your esports team because you learn all the mechanics of one, and then you could be the world champions. You go and play on a different game, and it's a completely different, not control scheme, but the way that the guns reload might be a little bit faster or slower. The button sprays might be a little bit different, but everyone's going to be using the same game engine now, which also means that games will come out potentially a lot faster because they don't have to redevelop certain aspects of the game. Like if you have a one game engine size fits all, it's so much easier for the people who are going to be working on whether or not it's Sledgehammer, whether or not it's Active, whether or not it's is it Raven that does the other one as well?
Yeah. So there's Infinity Ward, Treyarch, Sledgehammer, and Raven.
Yeah, all under Active, sorry. So you've got all the different four of those developers that will be now using the same engine. So you could potentially get maybe a spin-off because they're able to pump them out a lot faster. Because it used to be every 3 years the developers would bring out that particular version of a Call of Duty, whether or not it be someone working on Black Ops or someone working on a Modern Warfare or someone working on some other version of the game. I'm not too
advanced, superior, modern laser warfare. Yes, nice, that one.
So you could have different versions of the games coming out maybe twice a year now, which isn't going to benefit them in any way, shape, or form. But it means that they're going to have a streamlined working space, which can only be good for the people who are working on the game. Rather than them learning something completely new every single time. So for the employee side of things, I think this is a great move. For them pumping out games left, right, and center, I think that'll be so much easier for them, and maybe as a consumer a bit daunting because you may end up getting alternative versions of it at the same game throughout the year, maybe.
Yeah. So I was just reading the chat, and Iceman's just put a comment. We'll pause on this for just a second, just to jump back to the censorship one. I saw the face video. The finger chopping scene in Heavy Rain is more horror than that. I agree. There is multiple scenes that are more horror driven than that. And I thought there was a little bit of context with that made it worse, which I said to Bibby was, I thought you were chopping like a relative's face up. But it doesn't seem like that's the case. It seems like I'm merging two separate gruesome moments within the game. So it's no more horrific than you'd see in a Resi game or something that's proper psychological thriller kind of stuff. So yeah, it's fine. Jumping back through the comments, Modern Warfare announces new titles at same time development team admits they fucked up Warzone. But now it's going to be good, right? COD may be good this year, says Timeless. I hope it is. I genuinely hope it is. The thing with Call of Duty for me, and I've said it a million times, and I will keep saying it until it changes, is that it is a change of pace for me. And I said, like, when they were going through this article, and they say they want to make it into a game that no two matches play the same, and you can let players define what winning looks like. And I said that is what PUBG feels like. But that is what PUBG feels like. That is, like, people say, why do you play PUBG? To me, King! Oi. She didn't say it twice, but oi. I read. Thank you very much for the half year. Half year in a row. 7 months in total. Thank you very much, Kane. His name is Kane, and he's insane when he's in the game. You know what I'm saying? I'll say it again. His name is Kane.
Brings the pain.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Kane. I appreciate that. So, yeah, no two matches play the same, and you can let players define what winning looks like. It sounds like cheesy bullshit, but that is what PUBG is about. The reason I like PUBG is that you can just be the best out-and-out fragger and win a game. You could be the best snake and win a game. You could be shit snake and a shit fragger and be half in the middle and just have one lucky punt of a nade that takes out 3 people. You could use utility like smokes and whatever to win games. And that, in theory, should be what happens in Warzone. But it's not really. It's just like someone runs up to you with like dual wielding shotguns, which happens early in the game, and then you'll get someone that just runs the AR that lasers people, which comes sort of mid game life cycle. There's always one gun that's super overpowered, and then that goes through nerfs, and then people figure out finally how to do their quick scope sniper shots, and then you see people running Kar 98s as assault rifles, and it's like, what is this? So, but Call of Duty always has some unbalancing, but that's because it's always mono-directional. And PUBG doesn't have that level of unbalancing. Yeah, the UMP can be filthy, but you can play around it in certain other ways. In certain ways, it's you can't play around it. But because Call of Duty is mono-directional, you can never really play different ways. Yeah, no two matches are the same because that's just standard, but you don't really choose what winning looks like because winning usually is the same thing 80% of the time. So if they do put that in, where utility and team plays and actually playing with your teammates in a Call of Duty becomes a thing, unless you're playing esports level Call of Duty, you jump into a game and your teammates don't care where you are, don't know where you are. It's just like, okay, bye, and you're dead. Okay, and you're dead again. I'm dead as well. And we more often than not, you win a game of team deathmatch, not because you're playing with your team, but because your team and you have figured out ways to play your game that accentuates them playing their game. You don't play it together; you just coexist nicely. So,
well, that's where I think there's a gap in the market for something like SOCOM again. Like, imagine nowadays having a game like SOCOM where you want to take... Like, Insurgency Sandstorm is literally the SOCOM game, but in first person. I think that there is definitely a place in the video games for games like that just requires teammates and talking and tactical nous of how you're going to take them out. It might take you 5 or 6 attempts to do the mission, but... You know what I mean? Learning the ropes like you would on Metal Gear Solid. You're looking at where the enemies are going to be walking. You're looking at their footpaths and you think, okay, I can go around this way instead. Like, stuff like that just doesn't exist in video games anymore. And when they do, I feel like they go under the radar.
Just trying to reply to Madge then, just putting the command in the chat, and it just wasn't having it. Got there third time lucky, even though it's the same as the first time. But okay, nice. Sorry, give me that back in. Give me a TLDR.
We miss games like SOCOM. I think they would be great.
Yeah, I agree. Good comms, give me a lady boner. Yeah, I mean, comms it's amazing. Like, I was having this conversation the other day. I died, and it meant that I could do some of the mopping up, because you could be the most articulate person in the world. Like, you could be like, okay, there's a guy, third tree from the left, just to the side of the building, behind the rock, the 2 rocks back, the big tree with you're giving all the information 190 degrees, you're pinging it and everything else. But a lot of people that are casual gamers will then suddenly get into a high pressure situation. This includes myself, and I'll be like, guy, there. It's like, okay, nice. You could be in the middle of a town and you'd be like, on the building. It's like, which building? The one in front of me. Graham, you're outside the town looking at the whole town. Which one? But me being dead didn't mean that the game was over. That meant that, like, Nietzsche was calling someone out, for example, the other day, but it was quite a hard call because Nietzsche was trying to keep up his aim, trying to keep jiggling left and right so he's not getting shot, keeping this person pinned outside the zone. So I dropped a ping and went like 100 meters in front, 3 rocks back, just on the roadside, left-hand side of the road, and Nietzsche was like, thanks. It's like, I was dead, so I didn't have the pressure of having to do all that shit. So, guy over there, I mean, that's pretty much what it is like, so many times you'll hear me go, okay, there's a guy just there. And then I pause for a second whilst I put my ping or take my shot, and I go, on the tree, 290, 100 meters back, boom.
But, yeah. The compasses being introduced into video games, especially battle royales and any kind of shooter, has been one of the best developments in video games. We talk about Resident Evil bringing the over-the-shoulder camera to the world. Like, having a compass in your game so you know where the calls are going to be is one of the best introductions ever.
Yeah. Apart from having to, the conversation that me and Timeless had the other day, trying to call out relative compass directions, where, like, Timeless was like, so if someone's north of you, why are they not north of Bibby? And I did the whole sort of like description of, okay, if they're north and straight up from me, but Bibby's over to the side, north from him is in a different place. So it's like north, I don't know if it's east or west for you, so you get what I'm saying. So it's a slightly different call, and I can't do relative calls. Like, my calls are always, for me, it's just, okay, it's north of me. If that, you figure it out, and then I'll put a ping down. There you go. That makes it easier. So
yeah, well, north 35 to you might be like south. It still will be 35. It's just the way that the compass, north, east, southwest will change, but the numbers are the same, aren't
they? No, the numbers are they are like north, south, east, west. So north will be 0. Then you'll get east will be 90 degrees. South will be 180. So the numbers are they change too. It's just a matter of, so if he's 10 degrees from me, just off north, he will be like a 270 for someone else who's over the other side. Right. And that's where my brain, I could probably go up if I can go, okay, from me, it's probably 60 degrees from you. But when it's going back the other way past 360, my brain's like, full on blue screen. Nope. It's essentially quick math and mapping. Yeah, but that's it. Having to do the quick maths, but in a number that's not necessarily like traditional metric. Metric is everything of 10. Yeah, but that stops at 360 because it's degrees rather than, and it's just like, my brain just goes,
forget about what I said then. The ping system is the best system we have ever had in video games since the over-the-shoulder camera from Resident Evil 4.
Absolutely. My brain just goes, Graham, I know you're in the middle of a shootout, but I just want to slow you down for just a second to let you know that you can't figure this out. It's like, oh, great. Thank you for that information, brain. We've done this very well. Just drop a ping. Just drop a ping. Nice. Nietzsche says, he's on the tree. Which one? That one over there. Gee, that's a fucking forest, mate. Exactly. Yeah. It's like being in a multi-story car park. He's on the car. Okay, great information. Having an in-game map with names for each area labelled by the developers are godsend for FPS maps, multiplayer gameplay. Yeah, see, that's something that I love about Super People, which they stole off of Warzone, is you drop in from the plane, good things that PUBG doesn't quite have in. You drop in from the battle bus in Fortnite, you can see a vertical column of light where your ping is from the other side of the world. That's the way we're going. Nice. PUBG, you don't really get that. You get an icon on the compass until you get close enough for it to show up. And it's like, oh, now I can see it. But on Warzone and things like that, you will see the full names of the buildings. This is prison. This is, I can't remember what the other places are, in the sky until you get to a certain height, and then the names like evaporate as you go through them, kind of thing. I feel like PUBG would benefit from that. It's just UX. It's not design copying or whatever. It's just simple UX. Okay, I can see where prison is because I am a potato noob that's never played this game before. I will just head in that direction, and then it disappears. It doesn't change the game. Fine. Nice. Just make it so that the pings work in a bit more UX-friendly way. Nice. Don't need to break the game for it. Just, nah. Yeah, that's my issue. People calling out objects. He's on a tree in a forest surrounded by trees. He's on a rock. I'm in a quarry surrounded by rocks. Just me. Yeah.
That was me when I first started playing Fortnite. Like, my calls were terrible. Now I just go off compasses and pings. Just makes life so much easier.
Quick pinging. That's the one for me. As soon as I set up quick ping, so I sacrifice the ability to easily ping different things like loot here, enemy here. I just do that with my comms now. Enemy on my thingy. There's a machine gun on my ping. There is a vehicle on my ping. I will tell you what it is and just drop the ping and then relay through the comms. Thing is with PUBG, just adding small things is game break. It is. Touche. Yeah. So can we just add a name in the sky? And just imagine that, you just dropping out of the plane and then just splatting as you land on the top of the word prison in the sky. I'm mangled on the prison. I'm at the prison. You're not here. No, I mean the word prison in the sky. I'm stuck on it. My shoe's caught on the edge of it. Can you come and let me down, please? Nietzsche, he's on ping. Wait, not that ping. This one. Shit, not there either. That ping. Fuck, he's moved.
It's traumatizing. I feel like I'm living it.
The worst thing for me is when pings are colours and everyone gets like, it mixes up the colours either from game to game or stream to stream. So if I'm used to being yellow and Bibby is blue, fine, yellow, blue, yellow, blue, yellow, blue. But then you get like yellow, blue, orange, green, and it's on my green. Fuck, I'm not green. I'm pink. I'm blue. I'm whatever. And it's like the colours change. That's what. So yeah. You should just be like something to me. Graham, grey day marker or whatever. I don't know. Easy. Bibby's is to find. He's always on a bicycle. Look, Dad. No stabilizers.
World class. That's like one of my favourite moments in video games ever.
Absolutely. Tell you what is world class in terms of moments in video games. PUBG's launch. This is me building a tangent. We're not going to talk about PUBG anymore, by the way, because we're supposed to be talking about Warzone there. But PUBG had the biggest peak on Steam ever. Massive. Do you know what would be really big news, though? Because PUBG's peak was that big, it would be something just getting close to that, even marginally close. Well, the news is that something has got close to that. Vikki Blake at Eurogamer has this story that says Amazon's MMO Lost Ark already has the 5th largest Steam concurrent record ever. And stop! Because it doesn't just have the 5th largest. Update! It now has the 2nd biggest peak on Steam ever, behind only PUBG. So we'll jump down to the original story and then jump back up. Original story, Smilegate's new MMO Lost Ark, published by Amazon Games, has hit almost 1 million concurrent players within 24 hours of its release. In spite of struggling servers that couldn't keep pace with demands, that means Lost Ark currently sports the fifth biggest concurrent peak of Steam players ever, following PUBG, CSGO, Dota 2, and Cyberpunk 2077, respectively. Excuse me. According to SteamDB, Lost Ark hit a 24-hour peak overnight, clocking up a staggering 984,111 players and topping Amazon's prior release New World's peak performance of 913 simultaneous players. I mean, imagine it just being 913. Oh, okay. Quote, I love this trend of MMOs making you feel really powerful from the beginning, Bertie wrote in his article. Lost Ark is blowing up and I can totally see why. It's so refreshing and joyful. There's none of this power austerity. None of this, yes, you can be powerful, but you'll have to earn it, young one. Games like Black Desert Online and now Lost Ark just want to be fun right away. And it's great. So as we jump back up to the top of the update, Lost Ark's dominance on Steam continued over the course of this past weekend with a player peak of 1.32 million people. This makes it Steam's second biggest concurrently played game ever, behind PUBG. These numbers have caused some issues, however. The Amazon-published free-to-play MMO has placed users in queues to alleviate server strain, something developer Smilegate has now apologised for and revealed a plan to ease. Do you know what? I had missed this game entirely until I think last Tuesday, maybe the Tuesday before, when Lee in the office went, have you been looking at Lost Ark? And I was like, no. What's this? And then he told me about it, and he was like, I only knew about it because it's a free-to-play game that you could pay to get basically priority early access to. So Lee from our office did that. He paid for the priority early access because he's a big MMO kind of person, spent tons of hours in all of the MMOs over the years, so jumped in to play it. Anyway, it turns out it's big. Could you see yourself playing this, babe?
Tried. I downloaded it. I preloaded it on Thursday or Friday with the anticipation of being able to play it, and then I managed to carve out half an hour on Saturday to be able to look in and just be able to play through a tutorial, something just to get a vibe of it. And I was like 3,742 in a queue, and I was like, well, I'm not playing this for a couple of weeks. I'll wait for everything to die down before I'm coming in, because I don't want to pay for priority access for the next to no time that I have to game at this moment in time, because I'll just be throwing money away. So I'll give this a go when the initial wave of people have played through it. Either don't like it and then bounce off, and I might be able to get into a queue and be able to play it then. Like Willis and Mike and Wayne have all been playing this, and I think they have like 35 hours in the game already because they paid for the early access last Monday or whenever it was. They're really enjoying it. They say it's more like it's like Diablo, but as an MMO with the massive parts of RPG, which sounds perfectly like it's right up Bibby Street. So I do want to be able to play it at some point, and I am. I'll say my excitement is middle of the ground. Like I haven't heard much of it until, like you said, Lee, when it was last Tuesday when Lee mentioned it. That's the first time I'd even come across it. Game just passed me by completely. So my expectations are middle of the ground. It's an MMO. Of course, I'm going to be able to give it a go. I want to be able to play another MMO that isn't ESO, because that's just the biggest time sink in the world ever. But yeah, it looks good. It looks good. It looks like a good game. It looks like a Bibby game. I'm happy to be able to give it a try at some point when I can then play games again.
Well, top 5 was rounded out by Cyberpunk 2077, to which Magic Man says 99% of those Cyberpunk players were those whose games clients had crashed and incorrectly reported them as still playing. See, Cyberpunk, I mean, obviously I'm here for the memes. Don't make me open the drawer and get, oh, fine, go on then. I'll get my still in the plastic wrapping copy of Cyberpunk. One day we will play it. Today's not the day. I'm here to meme on Cyberpunk, but it was massive. It was massive. This, though, to get that big, second biggest game ever. And this is where when I talk about PUBG being huge. PUBG, on its off days, on its slow periods, still has the same amount of concurrent players that most games in the world would clamour for as their spike days. Not spike as in Big Zombie Monkey days. So getting anywhere near PUBG's spike days is huge. So Lost Ark hitting this. The only thing that makes me ask, well, two things that make me ask questions. First of all, let me bring this on stream. That Lost Ark logo, if anyone's watched The Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, that logo looks like something in the Book of Boba Fett as well. Ooh, it just caught my ears. Anyway, completely no spoilers. But the thing that gets me asking questions is I'm not an MMO or RPG person really, so MMORPG kind of games get lost on me pretty quickly. But this being one that's easy to access and get people into it, rather than that you have to earn your stripes, young one, or whatever it said in this thing about you need to grind to get into the game, that is the thing that turns off people like me. But isn't that the thing that makes the game so successful, that people like the difficulty, people feel like there is a grind? So this being easy access, like what was the one that's just happened that you mentioned within this? Was it New World? There we go. It mentioned so New World was a bit easier to get into as well, and New World has hemorrhaged 90% of its player base or something like that. Is that
because it had no end game? That's the reason people are falling down, not because it was a bad game, it's because it doesn't have any end game.
Yeah, but that's the kind of thing. Like, a lot of the end game is built off of the fact that it's so far away from the early game. If the early game is naturally longer and not stretched out, looking at you, Assassin's Creed, by the way, if the early game is naturally longer, that makes the end game a little bit longer as well. By definition, it's further away. So your end game, even though it might not be multiple steps, you've only got one step, get to level 100, but level 100 is super hard and enjoyable along the way. That pushes the end game away. But because New World had an easy onboarding, and this mentions that it has an easy onboarding, is that what makes these not carbon copy replacements for World of Warcraft, something like that? I didn't play World of Warcraft, so I'm lost on the minutiae in it there. But is that it? Making it a game that's easy to get on board with? Does that make it a game that's not really as rewarding for the long-term fans?
I don't think so personally, because the grind usually comes from, and again, this could be a completely different opinion to most other people as well, but in terms of an MMO, the grind is getting to whatever level it is that you want to get to, or whatever the level cap is, whether or not it's 80, 85, 90, whatever it is. The grind is getting to those levels to get into a place where you're able to go to a dungeon, because when you start to do your dungeons and your raids and your PvPs and stuff like that, that's the most enjoyable part of MMOs for a lot of people. It's usually the other way around for me, because I want to be able to play ESO with the story in the background. I mean, MMO stories are usually tedious anyway. It's usually the same thing. Get this, carry there, get some coin, go out, get your experience points. I might be able to give you a helmet or a new chest piece or something like that. That's where the game is for me, because I'm not going to be able to play PvP. I may do raids if I start to make friends along the way to get more armor and more power points and stuff like that as I'm going along. But usually, traditionally, if you are playing an MMO, you've got a lot of hours on your hands. You're able to go in and do the dungeons and you do the raids. That's where the fun is, because that's where you get better armor, that's where you get better skill points to be able to put, and that's where you get your new abilities and stuff. That's where the game is. The grind is getting to that point, which is usually your 1 to 99. So I feel like if you're making it easier for people to be able to onboard, that's fantastic. And I feel like you're going to get to the same point, either a little bit easier or a little bit harder to be able to go in and do the raids and stuff. I feel like the end point is where you'll always come, whether or not it'll be easy or hard. I feel like it being free to play and a little bit easier for the people who, like you, have never played an MMO before and may have a very vague interest, but you don't want to be able to play 40 hours to be able to get to level 20. If you're able to get there a little bit easier, then it may interest you, and then you may want to be able to sink 3 or 4 hours a day into it rather than having 6 hours on PUBG. You might only play 2 hours of that, 4 hours of this. I feel like the end goal is always going to be the same. It's just what you do when you get there, and that's where New World has fallen, because there's nothing to do after you get there. Get to the very end point. That's the difference of any kind of MMO at the moment. Neverwinter Nights was a fantastic MMO, but it's been going for so long now that you get to a point where you can still continue to play that game right until, like, World of Warcraft again is another example, because it's been going for 20 years. The end game is only boring if you've been playing it for 20 years. If you are a brand new customer like yourself now, you have 60 expansions to get through. You will never complete that game unless you're playing that game for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
For the next 20 years.
It'll take you forever. It's incompletable unless you've been playing it for 20 years. And that's where all these new MMO games fall short now, because they haven't got the longevity that the other games have had.
So what is stopping someone making a Graham Day friendly MMO? Why do they always have to be knights and dragons and shields and longbows? Hashtag Bibby games. Why do they have to be?
You love Lord of the Rings, don't you?
Yeah, but I like to get involved in that universe as like a viewer, but I don't want to play that. It's the same sort of like I don't want to go back to the medieval times, and I don't want to go forward to exosuits and wall running. I want GTA Online, basically.
Yeah, but the one that's already available for you.
But it's slightly different.
What about the Harry Potter one? A Harry Potter one will be coming out at some point.
See that I will give into that one a little bit, but that one that's like 100 years in the past. That's like 1819 sort of somethings or other. So it's like 100, 150 whatever in the past. So I'll give that one a go. But yeah, rather than horses,
DC Online one's fantastic as well. But do you want to play a superhero one? Because Tito's just said they're making a Marvel one, which is. Take it whichever way you want. Like, if you love DC, it'll be great. If you love Marvel, it'll be great.
I like the fact that I've only just realised we've got balance here, because we're both sat in very similar coloured rooms with a very similar sort of makeup. On yours, you've got Batman, and on mine, we've got Iron Man. How's about that for Marvel versus DC? Let's go.
Yin and yang. That's why we work, Graham.
We've both got a door behind us with a red football shirt on it as well. It's not an ICU one as well. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Okay, let me jump back through the comments. Enix said he queued up at 1 p.m. on a Saturday, fell asleep and woke up 4 hours later and had dropped 10k in the queue or something. Nope. No, thank you. If it's free to play, not sure if it will die off as it's PC. I mean, that's the thing. These games never usually die off until they're killed off. They drop to the point where, okay, it's making money, but not really as much money as we would want it to make, so we will save those resources for something else. Tito says, Loss Tark, to which someone did say, is that what it's called in Yorkshire? I can't find it. The chat's just popped and disappeared.
Lost Ark.
Isn't it Lost Tark? So there you go. Iceman says that's its name in Yorkshire. Lost Ark. No, Lost Tark is what it's called in GTA. That's like Los Santos. It's like that sort of thing. Lost Ark seems pretty decent. How it fares a few months now will be interesting. Flash in the pan or something that will last. That's the question. I mean, for something that's so big, second only to PUBG in terms of concurrent players, that is huge, monumental. But the video game world will be very, very quick to jump in with it. It's only 6 weeks on and it's lost 90% of its player base. So we could see those articles. Not that there's anything wrong with that being said, if that is what it is, but the proof will be in the eating of the pudding. And that is, okay, great. The pudding is the game. It's nice. But when you actually come to eat it and there's no end game, there's no raids, there's no other stuff. So the raids are the biggest thing. It's that long game content. So Naked Neil, for example, has dropped in Wednesday night streams a few times and gone, okay, just here to drop a lurk. I'm actually about to jump into a raid for a game that he's been playing for 10 years because he's that committed to it that Wednesdays he's got it pre-planned. He knew in advance that's going to happen. That's when you've got content that's worth planning your evenings weeks in advance around. If you don't have that, then the game's not going anywhere. Yeah. Beans, good morning.
There was a Star Wars one as well, don't forget.
After morning, should I say? What? KOTOR.
Yeah. Well, the Old Republic, yeah.
Yeah. And it's coming back in. We'll play that one soon. We'll play that one. Ish. I said that with New World and I said that with fucking whatever. We'll play that one probably, maybe.
I'd love you to get involved in one. Like, genuinely, like, there is better games out there than just PUBG. And I can guarantee an MMO at some point will peel you in. I mean, The Division, to an extent, is an MMO. And did you ever get into playing that? Did you ever play any of those?
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would have been probably a lot more up your street. I mean, I know Tito's played a lot of The Division, but I love The Division. I would love to be able to play that with you, just to get you into an MMO. But there is much better games out there than PUBG that probably deserve your attention. I mean, I'm not saying PUBG isn't a bad game. For someone who doesn't play a lot of PUBG, I still love that game, but I feel like there is a lot of other games out there that deserve your attention as well, and an MMO.
I fully agree with what you said, and also fully agree with what Baroness Strange has just said. I don't know, PUBG's claws are pretty tight.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I could say the same for me. And Elder Scrolls, fuck me. They brought out 1 million Elder Scrolls games, but then brought an online version of that game out with all of those games inside it. Like, it's like, but yeah. I agree.
Yep. Okay, jump back through the comments then. You can hit max level in Lost Ark around 40, 50 hours. I've been playing it for the last week, and so far really enjoying it. Some of the cinematics are incredible. So now you've hit max level, if you've hit 40, 50 hours, are you bored? Do you have stuff to do? Can you see stuff that you're not just doing right now, but are aiming towards, even though you're at max level? Do you have progression for yourself? Because that's the bit, is like, if there is no, like, PUBG technically has no progression. I'm level 500. I've unlocked pretty much everything I really want from Weapon Mastery. The stuff in Weapon Mastery I'm going for now is more distraction stuff rather than main game stuff. But the gameplay is enough for me to want to go in there. So that by itself, the own 30-minute narrative that evolves with every sort of game has something for me to keep going at, for now, at least. But those sort of games where it's not just about replaying the same 30 minutes of PUBG, it's playing through the whole of New World and the whole of Lost Ark and stuff like that. Does it have something that makes you want to strive to keep playing it? Graham's face is just like, nah.
Yeah. I'm just signing up now to the Old Republic. I think it's free to play, so I'm going to sign up now and see what it's all about, because I've never played it and I love Star Wars, so that just makes sense to be able to give it a game. It's a BioWare game, so let's see what it's about.
Being said, it's one of the best MMOs ever played. So good. Fully voice acted, some wicked cutscenes, and you can play dark or light side. Madge says new KOTOR expansion is out very soon. Is that's what we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I will try.
Can you hear it? The tone of his voice is changing, boys. I think we're going to bring him over to either the light or the dark side. We're not too sure yet.
It was still a bit shaky though. It was also maybe I don't want to tell you no, but I also so we'll see.
I don't usually get nervous, but I'm kind of feeling it. Wait.
There are better games than PUBG. There are other games out there. Timeless. Nope. PUBG is an addiction now. It pretty much is. Yeah. PUBG progression for me is PUBG reports gradually getting more toxic. Like the other one the other day. He just turned and instant headshotted me. I had full 100% health, level 2 armor, level 2 helmet, level 2 vest, full health, not hurt, and I just went down straight away. All right, okay, whatever. All right.
I feel like this is going to be. I feel like whenever we do community night, our first ever full-on community night that isn't a competition or something like that, I feel like we need to get into something like an MMO where we can get everyone into the party chat or something. I feel like that'll be hilarious.
See, that's kind of where I was hoping GTA Online was just a bit less. You can get shit on by randoms that could just fuck up your plans. And like in PUBG, obviously you bump into randoms and you fight to the death, but then usually you get 5 minutes of just mooching about, being stupid with each other. In my experiences with GTA Online, that never really happened, but just imagine like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of us or whatever, just rolling around. Yeah, fun times. Anyway, okay, picking up the pace because we are probably well over, because we're an hour and 3 minutes live.
An hour and a half.
Yeah.
I checked before, we was 35 minutes. With the 37 minutes. I mean, we can move this other article over to tomorrow if you want.
It's only the last one anyway, so we might as well just fly it to wrap it up. I heard Graham has PUBG tattooed on his man sausage, just so he can still play with it when he's in the bathroom. Yeah, I've not got enough space for 4 letters. Get the fuck out. There is huge raids and loads of endgame content. Sadly, that is what New World lacked. Dungeons in New World cost a lot of time and resources, whereas Lost Ark is free to do dungeons. See, there you go. New World could be the roll of the dice, the first shake of the stick, and then Lost Ark is the one that keeps it going. Although Lost Ark has been out for a while in Asia, though, right? That was the thing that I didn't know when I was reading up on it. When Lee sent it to me, they've been playing it in Asia. They being Asia have been playing it for a while, and it's only just coming out in Europe and NA kind of thing, right? I think. I don't know. Downloading Lost Ark now, probably never play it though. My mate has been trying to get me to play the Star Wars MMO for ages. It was the accent on the report. Link it so that people can watch. Honest to Grey, I never played an MMO before the New World closed beta. That made me try Old Republic, and I've had so much fun on there. It's totally working 50 hours. Was that the beta that the ICU hooked you up? So if that's the case, we've just funded you an addiction. Nice. Ice Cream Uploads getting gamers addicted since 2021. Nice. I'm in the official Old Republic PAX East trailer. My claim to fame. Madge, you need to get that trailer. If it's on YouTube, get the timestamp and put that in the Discord so we can see. We can all spot a wild match. Sith Marauder for me, killing absolutely everything. I'd be keen for that. Love GTA. Let's go. go. Okay, see that I am on board for. I would like to do GTA RP. We, in the past, spoke about, do you know, in the early days of like NoPixel, we in the past were speaking about setting up an actual server that we hosted, so you didn't just have to join NoPixels and things like that. One that we actually controlled. But then the developer that was going to do that for us decided to move to Australia, so it didn't happen. For fuck's sake. Kane not only did he drop a sub earlier, but is also dropping a raid. Thank you very much. You're dropping in just as we get ready to drop out.
Love it.
Let me just wrap this thing up. I'd be keen for that. Love GTA. I used to play a lot of GTA. If not for Let's Pub, wouldn't look all that bad. Oh yeah. We'll just go for BG Battlegrounds. Finally, I can be the one watching a stream naked. Are you off now, Big Ham? I know that you're back on tonight. I did give you a bit of a shout as well. We showed your mention on the PUBG EU tweet as we started the stroll. Yeah, stroll. Yeah. Moist. RP Assistant Chief of Police. That was hella fun. See, that's cool. I did GTRP and I was a homeless bum. Never had so much fun in my life interacting with people. See, I would get full on into character. Me and Bibby have spoken about this at length quite a bit, actually, about potentially doing stuff. Like I said, we were going to do it a few years ago and decided to just not in the end. GTRP is some of the most fun I've had, setting up a drugs empire, joining a big gang and becoming a kingpin on the server. Let's go. I'm off till this evening. I appreciate the shout out, guys. Nice. We will drop in, give you some hosts. Not that you would actually see it because Twitch doesn't share hosts anymore for some strange reason, but there we go. Anyway, okay, Lost Ark is the second largest Steam concurrent player record ever, behind PUBG. So big game, not quite big enough to unsettle the big dog. Do you know what could be the biggest game ever, though? It's probably not going to be. This is a cheesy tangent, but I'll jump into it anyway. It's the heavily rumoured GoldenEye 007 HD remaster, which could be announced in the next few weeks. This is written by Vikki Blake at Eurogamer, a license to thrill. An industry insider believes that we'll have that rumoured HD remaster of GoldenEye 007 confirmed in the next few weeks. Interestingly, he thinks the announcement will come via Microsoft rather than Nintendo, which published the game the first time around. I think that Microsoft is going to be the one to announce that first. VentureBeat's Jeff Grubb hinted in this week's show via VGC. I think that this game is probably coming pretty soon. I'm thinking the next couple of weeks. While nothing's been formally confirmed by anyone involved in the project, the news comes after a newly leaked set of Xbox achievements popped up online a few weeks back. The achievement list, which was scooped off Microsoft servers, includes 55 new awards and 1,000 gamer score for completing the game's campaign and playing its various multiplayer modes. Achievement artwork even includes screenshots from the classic James Bond shooter. Adding more fuel to the speculative fire is the confirmation that GoldenEye 007 is no longer banned in Germany, which many suspect is because GoldenEye 007 may now end up as one of the games included in the Switch Online expansion pack service. There's been no official announcement of this new GoldenEye 007 release, and for now, both Rare and Microsoft are keeping stum. So all we can do is chalk this up to another industry rumour for now. If Grubb's right, however, at least we'll be put out of our misery one way or the other in the next couple of weeks. Dun, 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 dun. Bib.
Yeah.
GoldenEye. Are you in? Are you out?
I'm out, Graham. I'm past this. It was fantastic for the time, but games are like this was fun because of the multiplayer aspects of the game, of being a couch co-op game. I don't see this being any different from the other games that are out there now. Like this will be for nostalgia purposes. Like you might be able to do the 4-player online now, but what made the game good in the first place was being able to sit next to your mate and take them out. Like this now, yeah, it might be. I mean, they've already remade GoldenEye before on the 360, and it was nothing like the Nintendo 64 version, which was obvious because they was making a game for the 360. Like, I can't see this being decent. It will get decent sales numbers, but I can't see this game being anything better than a 6 out of 10.
Yeah,
if I'm being honest.
It's funny because we all think the same, I think, on this. There may be differences, that's fine. But Keiki says some things are best left in the past. Spike says what makes GoldenEye so great was the way that it played at its time. I can't see how this remake will be any better. Look better, yes, but I think I'd still rather play the original on my N64. To which Keiki says exactly, let the memories just be that. I have some very, very good memories with this. Like, I was smiling then because Cake has put hiding in the box as odd job, slaps only. I remember playing that, like letting my mate choose Jaws, who's massive, and then I was like odd job, and then it was like slaps only kind of thing, and it's like you're tiny and he's huge, and you just run and go just the hand like going up and down the vents in one of the maps as well. I can remember that, but as much as I don't want to ruin this for myself because I've mentioned this a few times. My mate Carl and I once, I had a projector. My dad used to own a pub, and when we got rid of the pub, I was like, well, I'm taking the projector. So I took this fucking ceiling mounted projector. It was like a car. It was massive, but it was still a wall mounted projector. It was probably like 480p or something like that. So we hooked it up with the screen inside my mate's house, and we played some GoldenEye on it. And I was like, wow, how small are these maps? I didn't remember, like, it was like you're running around and in your brain, you're like running around the entire, like, islands and stuff where you see borders. So I am invincible, like the whole, and it's tiny. It's like a little corridor with a box coming off it. And it's just like, wow, I'm sat here in this room and Baby's sat over there. So in my mind, it's exceptional. In reality, it kind of wasn't. So I don't think this is for me. I would love the idea of a GoldenEye 007 HD remaster giving me the same emotion that the old one gave me. But to give me that emotion in today's world, it needs to give me something up to standard within today's world and not just a pretty version of something old. If it was a story game where you go through and you have your handheld, like the GTA Definitive Trilogy kind of thing, that's a bit different. That's all the games that, maybe not as old, but all the games that take you through a narrative story. If it's just... I mean,
it's hard to describe, I think, because I imagine pretty much all of us that are in our chat who do listen to this show will have fond memories of being able to play that with your friends or family or whoever it might have been. But I just feel like this day and age, for a game that heavily relied on the multiplayer aspects of being people's core memories, I can't see this being fun apart from the hour that you may end up downloading it and all your friends just jump on it. Where's the repetition in it? Like, I can't see there being a multiplayer profile where you get an XP and you can unlock new guns like you can in Call of Duty. This would just be a 4-player team deathmatch, and then may increase it to 18, may increase it to 16. You're playing through old maps. That'll be fantastic.
But how would you get 16 players on those maps? You just be like, there is everyone else.
It'd be like Doom. It'd be like Doom or Quake, where it's the smallest corridors and you're going through and you're playing online, and the scores might be 60, 58, 54 because you're spawning and you die. Like, I just can't see this being a good game overall.
A cubicle each. Just eating in the toilets. So, like, the thing is with GoldenEye as well, the story, the playthrough of the story wasn't bad, but it was the multiplayer. That's what sticks out. Like, I remember, like, doing all of the missions, going through, doing the dam jump and all of that sort of stuff that you've seen in the film. Okay, that's fine. You're just recreating a film. It's just, in that sort of sense, it was any other movie tie-in video game. But the multiplayer, which was, I believe, I could be wrong, I could be mixing this up with a different game, but I believe it was something like, that was something the developers had done in their lunch breaks, and it eventually got tacked in, or they put it in, even though they were told that they didn't, or they shouldn't, and they put it in anyway, and then it was just a runaway success. And that's what made it. And I feel like that is the bit that can't be replicated to the same extent. So... lots of love, and I hope it's everything they need it to be. It's just probably not what I'm going to need it to be.
I agree.
Jaws vs. Oddjob. Imagine if Scaramanga's assistant was in it. I can't remember who Scaramanga is. I can remember. When did you get the projector? Because it ended up here for ages. It was before that, so we brought it up there, like, because after we'd used it a bit, and like this was old school projector. It was like 3 different lenses. There was an RGB lens. And each lens was like a massive light bulb kind of thing. So we decided that, do you know what, this is too much like effort. Let's give it David. He'll keep it. So we brought it to you. There you go. Ta-da! 16 people all sat in a bog cubicle each. just Oddjob's hands like comes waving out the doors every few seconds. Any remaster multiplayer game for the N64 will be tough because it was always about the 4-player split screen gameplay. Absolutely. That and a controller the size of a Nissan Micra with a little wobbly stick that doesn't quite register all your movements on the top of it. That's N64 gaming experience right there. Do you know, actually, I know we're out of time, but this is a tangent and a half. We did an event at Play Expo Blackpool in like 2013, and it was called The King of Pez. and it was basically PES 2013 was just coming out, something like that. And we had PES 2013 plus a bunch of different PESs scattered out throughout the history of PES. And one of them was ISS 64. And you not only were taking part in a 16-man tournament, but you were taking part on any game at random. So we would do a spin wheel and go, okay, you guys, so it's Bibby versus Graham, and you're playing ISS 64. So you get some people rocking up thinking, oh, I'm going to play on the PS3. I've got PES in my head. And then it's like, you're on the N64. And it's like, what is that? Just people's faces.
Why have we not done this again since?
It was just having... Because you needed like CRT TVs and all sorts of other stuff.
I do not care. Let's fucking get this sorted out. Like this is amazing.
And you'd see so we had for those that don't know, Ali, aka Bad Boy G, is his name at the time, was the UK champ. I think at the time he came along to the event thinking, well, I'm UK champ, I'm the best in the UK at PES right now, I'm going to smash this. And then he got drawn on like a PS1 version and then an ISS 64.
I would win it.
He didn't make it through.
I would genuinely win this tournament. I'd be shit on the newer versions, but if we're playing any of the PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 1 era competitions, I would fucking clean up.
We'll see. Let's see. We'll make it happen. I'd buy that for $1. Nice. Man with the golden gun. His assistant ended up being beaten by trapped in a suit. Yeah, was this odd job? Nice. I loved GE, so may pick it up. GE. GoldenEye. There we go. Okay, nice. I mean, it might scratch the itch that you need. And if it does, then that's good. Wait, PES was a thing back in '64. That must have been basic. Remake One Must Fall 2097. I feel like you've mentioned this before, and I feel like I've looked at it and still can't remember. ISS on the 64 was amazing. Also remake Painter Boy from the Commodore 64. ISS on the SNES. Bibby, I'd take you on Pro Evo 5. That was my jam, says Spike. It's my favourite game, that one. That, by the way, love the confidence, Bibby. Let's dance, bish. I have, yes. Nice. Thought so, Lick. Anyway, do you know what? We are going to put a pin on it. Finally, we're about 2 hours into our 1 hour program, so nice. Feel free to render this out for the next 6 days, Bib, before we. I
know it's going to be a fun one, isn't it?
It's going to be stitched together as well. That's great. Yeah. Just upload in 2 parts, whatever. It's fine. Anyway, we are done. Thank you for everyone that's joined us for the stream today. We appreciate that. Let me give you a couple of reminders. We do a loot drop every month. I didn't mention it in the intro because we didn't even have an intro. We just went straight into it. That's how distracted we've been today. Exclamation mark loot drop will give you the details. If you are new here, subscribers get prizes, or one does every month. One subscriber gets a prize every month. This month's winner was the 40-year-old Merc King. He's bagged himself one of these ICU baseball caps. We should hopefully be distributing these baseball caps this week for those that are interested in them. We will keep updates coming in the Discord as we know more. Exclamation mark hats if you want any information on the hats. Also, don't do anything tonight. It's Valentine's Day. Forget your loved one. Do you know what? Sod that. No, I'm joking. If you've got no plans tonight, do feel free to check in twitch.tv/BigHamish88. Hamish is doing some Valentine's Day fun times, and you could bag yourself a £50 Nando's voucher just for playing games with mates. Nice. Yeah. So do feel free to check in on Hamish's stream tonight. KK, thank you very much for the 5-month sub. We appreciate that. Welcome back into the loot drop. You will be included in next month's loot drop, which will be on Monday, the 7th of March. We don't know what the prize is yet, but we'll announce it very soon. So yeah, that is it from me. But before we go, Mr. Baby, is there anything from you?
Yes, again, thank you very much to each and every single one of you that have joined us for today's stream. Whether or not you've hosted us, you've followed us, you've subscribed to us, or you've just been in the chat lurking or not, we very much appreciate every single one of you that do so. But we still have 4 days left with the scoop, so if you want to help shape any of those shows, there's 2 ways that you can do so. First of all, find us on social media. It is at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social media platforms, including Hover. Get over there, follow us over there, get us liked, and also like GG, you can use 2 every 4 hours, and we very much appreciate if you could do that for us. Alternatively, you can find us in our Discord. All we need from you is a URL plus your thoughts and impressions. We will then give you our thoughts and impressions on the very next show, which will be live from the studio tomorrow in Blackpool. At what time tomorrow, Mr. Graham Day?
10 a.m.
Ish. We're in the studio, shit happens, there's microphones die and everything else, so be prepared for technical difficulties.
although I haven't actually told you this, but be prepared for me not actually being in the studio. I might not be in the studio tomorrow, so it might be a split expecting it. You saying that has just reminded me. Even though we've got plans to do things in the studio this week. Great going, Graham. Nice. Anyway, we'll sort that off stream. For now, though, on stream, stick around as we are going to raid one of our friends. I want to shout out to Tito, to Madge, to West, and everyone else that has just spammed socials and Discords and stuff over the last 30 seconds. We've got about 27,000 links in the chat. Just click them all. It's fine. But yeah, we are going to raid a friend. Don't go anywhere. Do you know what? Let's raid. As soon as we've been speaking about GTA quite a bit, we're going to drop in on MC Fixer. If you don't know who MC Fixer is, he is a good friend of the channel, but he plays a lot of GTA RP. His character is basically an extension of his real life self. He makes music, and with a name like MC Fixer, then you can kind of think that MC Fixer would make music too. So we're going to drop in on Fixer. Do stick around for the raid. Drop in, say hello. You don't have to stick around all day. Just go over for the raid because it's nice to give him a little bit of a pick-me-up just before we all drop off for lunch. Plus, you get extra channel points for yourselves. What does he fix? Music. All of the things. He fixes
he's a plumber.
Ailing musicians. So he's an MC fixer. He fixes MCs that need a little bit of there you go. MC. Yeah, exactly. Fixes MCs. Nice. He's an MC fixer. Nice. On that bombshell, have yourselves a beautiful day. We'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Until then, stay frosty.